Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Super Free to Play Adventure. And Treasure Map is leaving in 13 minutes, so we actually need to get straight into this. I did actually do one run off camera, and I did make some teams. Now of course we cannot use Luffy as our captain, which is a big problem. We did have to use some of the other Stroids, because most of them are 2.5x captains, fitting within our restriction of only 2.5x attack boosting captains. We can do this until we complete the Master Chopperman missions. Speaking of which, I actually did complete the Rookie Chopperman missions. I did do the Pirate XP quests and leveled up some characters. We did get 50 gems from that. So you can actually see here, we do have 357 rainbow gems, quite big. So let's get straight into the intrusion and see what team I'm rocking. So Frankie is actually surprisingly probably the best option here as a captain, because he boosts free spirit characters by 2.5x. Robin is the other best option since she boosts cerebral characters. Now most of the strats are either cerebral or free spirit, so it really depends on which fight you're using or which units you need to use in the fight. Either utility from Nami and Robin, who are cerebral based, or you can use enemy defense reduction from Frankie. So unfortunately we are very weak at this point, so it's a struggle to even kill the turtles. We do have still a bit of cooldown remaining, so Frankie's only going to be ready on the final stage, unfortunately. The stage 2 here, we're actually just going to ignore all this. I mean, there's nothing here that's gonna ruin our run, because remember it is East Blue, the gimmicks are very weak. So even though there's a bunch of annoying health reducing gimmicks on that stage, we can just kind of ignore it. And then on this stage here, we can use Brook to get rid of the threshold, Robin to get around the block orbs, and then we can just kill off. We don't have to even worry about having any damage buffs. The enemy is just that weak. Now I did mention that the reason we are doing Treasure Map is to get the Thesaurus ship, 3x berries, but I was way too ambitious. 20,000 blue tickets is even hard to get on the new world of Treasure Map, and I've done I think 30 nav levels or 30 runs on my main account, and I got 29,000 tickets from that. So there's no way I was gonna get that many tickets from just doing like a few runs on East Blue. So that's gonna be a task for another time. I'll just use the Foxy ship. It's gonna be good enough with its 2x berry boosting. But it does suck not having the 3x. For now I can use the Gene Ango character as my captain to give us 1.5x berry captain, and then we can have the ship of the Sexy Foxy for a 2x. But for now, let's get into the mini bosses. So these ones are very simple. I think we do actually use Robin for quite a few of the captains. First one against S-Bear. Now this one we also use Frankie. Now if you are doing this as a new player, I would also recommend using the Stroid crew free to play, because they are going to be the best boosted characters. It really is just coming down to which Stroids do you run on the team. Usually you can just look at the gimmicks. If you see Despair, you know Robin. If you see Threshold, you can either bring Brook or level them up broken Zoro. If you see Barriers, it's Sanji. If there's Chain Attack down, it's Sanji. If there is basically no gimmicks, then you want to bring units that are going to boost your damage, like Luffy. You can also bring wave clearers like Brook, Zoro, or Luffy. All of them do that. Now on this team I can actually do wave clear. I don't know why I'm attacking. We are using Brook stage 1, and then Luffy, the unevolved one, is great on stage 2 to wave clear and give us a 3-turn attack boost. So this is what I talked about in the other video. Luffy in his 5-star form is great for wave clear and also giving us an attack boost for 3 turns. At this point we can use our Robin, and usually you want to use Sanji here. Unfortunately my Sanji is unmaxed, so his cooldown is not ready yet, so we are just going to stall out S-Bear's barrier. He doesn't do anything since we are at a lower level. So this is probably the worst team because of the fact that we basically are waffling our way through the quest. Frankie has his free spirit attack boosting captain, which is good enough for us. Robin is actually only 2.25x, but she also boosts HP, so it kind of makes up for that. Of course, if you are a new player, use Luffy as your captain for all of them in his 5+ form. You can use his super type to wave clear. But unfortunately, I can't run him because he's too strong with our restrictions. The treasure map is probably going to end before I finish this run. But I'm going to get through the rest of these and then we can talk about the intrusion. I mean, the final boss. I'm pretty sure this team is basically the exact same as the previous one. And then we can get into the next mini boss. And I'm telling you, I'm actually using quite an interesting free-to-play character on the final boss. Because remember, on this treasure map, there is a lot of annoying mobs on the final stage that have very high defense but very low HP. So that enables us to, or invites us to use a poison inflictor, and that's going to allow us to get around the final boss. So I'm going to show you guys what unit I'm using. It's just quite an interesting character that I did get from Friend Point Pool. Also, this boss, Nami, is definitely the best option. We'd also want to use Sanji with his Chain Boundary. But once again, my Sanji is not maxed, so I can't really use him. His cooldown is not ready yet. But we're actually going to get promoted there. As you can see, we just got above 50%. So if we are getting a ton of free-to-play characters, I might go up to, or choose to go into the Grand Line League. Although, I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't think we're going to get that many free-to-play characters. And even though, even if we do get that, a lot of the free-to-play units nowadays aren't boosted even. It's kind of stupid. So there's not a lot of options. But at the same time, you don't need to run boosted characters against the mini-bosses. I've talked about this before. As long as you have good speed on the mini-bosses, it's fine. All you need is a final boss and intrusion team with good boost. So I could use all my sprites on the final boss with maybe some of the new boosters. If I can get the new free-to-play characters, at least one copy, then that would be great. Now Zoro here, we are actually running double Zoro. Still actually boosting captain. He is boosting himself and Brook. So it's not ideal, but it's definitely enough to clear this mini boss. Okay, so final stage against S. Snake. I should have saved my Brook. Not to worry though, Zoro also gets around threshold. And then we can use our Robin for attack down. As you can see, all these sprites are just good enough to handle East Blue. They should also be able to work fairly fine for Grand Line as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I will just use my sprites for the final boss and intrusion. And then I'll run a bunch of other free-to-play characters, even though they're not boosted, to try and clear the rest of the mini-bosses. So next month, I will definitely be going to Grand Line, because we need the rewards. Grand Line is the worst league. However, it is required to do it before we go into New World, where things actually become very rewarding. Also, surprisingly, I don't know why they do this, but they still offer the full 10 million rewards for East Blue. I don't think anyone is going to be going to 10 million points in East Blue. The point growth is so terrible. Only if you have full batch and maybe you're going for a higher rank. But there's no reason to do that. You're wasting your materials. This is a pretty terrible team because there's like no cooldown. I think we have to stall a bit. The strides don't get cooldown, which is the reason why. And this is the final mini boss before we go into the final boss against the Lucci and Kaku. So I'm just going to finish this mini boss and then we can get into what I need to show you guys. We only have 5 minutes of treasure map left. Oh yeah, but against this mini boss we are using Usopp to get our special bind. Right side gets rewinded. We have no strides to get around that. So we are just using our left-sided units specials. And then Frankie gets around the defense. And even though we have no matching orbs, we can still kill off S-Hawk. Okay, so this is the final boss. And we are using the honeybee from Dressrosa. I don't know their name. I don't think anyone knows their name. But they are a good poison user. Unfortunately, they are still very weak because they have such a low attack stat. Their poison is horrendous. It takes 2 turns to kill off the enemies, which is still something, I guess. And look at the cooldown, we're gonna have to actually stall. So, honestly, it's probably even better to just not run her and then just stall away those bosses or those weak mobs on the final stage. But either way, I want to do this the proper way. You're supposed to this treasure map was designed that you're going to use a poison user for the final boss in Stasi, but we can't use Stasi as a friend captain. We are only allowed 2.5x or lower attack boosting captains. So the second stage isn't that bad though. I think we just use Nami to get around bind, and that's it. So we can leave here on stage 1 at 4 turns remaining on the honeybee. Okay, against Lucci, we are going to be using not even Nami for paralysis reduction. We can also use one of our Robins. I don't see why not. We can't even use Robin on the final stage, unfortunately, because she does get her specials rewinded, which is a bit stupid because we do get attack down. So I should probably have designed this team a bit better and put a Robin as a sub instead. We do have to get around attack down, but honestly the enemy is so weak that we don't even have to really worry about it. So there's Despair, there is Rewind, no attack down. Okay, I guess I'm delusional. So here we have the poison. It inflicts on every single mob here. We can use our Brook because why not? He actually doesn't even help us at all. Luffy for an attack boost, and we attack through the block orbs because we are on East Blue League very, very weak enemies, and we can let the poison slowly chip away at these guys. So they actually do very little damage, so we don't have to worry about them killing us. And then the poison KOs them. Awesome stuff. So unfortunately not a boosted character, but that is basic rundown of what teams I was using for treasure map. If you can do it without, or if I can do it without using the Luffy as a captain, then it should be very easy for you guys to start off in East Blue. Grand Line is going to be interesting. We do need to make up a good roster of free-to-play characters that I can actually use to clear the next treasure map in Grand Line. I do have a lot of story mode characters from the friend point pool. I did do a lot of friend point pools off camera, but I actually want to show you something that I did do besides that, which is do some very easy clash quests. So if I go to my get date here, besides all the golden pound Usopp, we do also have these Marines. I did do the clash Onigumo that is out today. All the weird clashes are out on the weekends, but these are very terrible characters, and the raid boss is very easy as well. The first one I did actually was the Aokiji. If I can find him. Aokiji. Yeah, so I got this character. He's basically just a huge HP boss. He has no gimmicks, so it was quite easy to defeat him. Then I did Zephyr along with Ain. Ain is actually probably the easiest, or not easiest, but the most useful character I got from that raid boss. Even though she's a secondary character to Zephyr, she does have a better special. Besides that, I don't think I did anyone else. I did get this very interesting captain, Kuro. This is a character I might actually use. He's a 2x attack boosting captain, which is bad, but it's to 2 types, and he also is the best part here. He's a 2 cooldown reducing captain. I always love these kind of characters. I think this is my first speed farming captain I've gotten, and he also has a pretty solid special, so I might level him up, get him down to a cooldown of 7, and he's going to be a very valuable character to my box. Okay, so that's a basic rundown of what I've done. I've also finished the entirety of the East Blue saga. I'm busy with Twin Cape, and as you can see with my gem count, the story mode has been helping with my with getting those high gem counts much easier. So besides that, I've also been leveling up my characters. Of course, we have a pretty solid box, I think. A lot of free-to-play characters here, and hopefully those will help us in the next treasure map. But for now, I think I'll just do a few more friend point pulls, and then we can end off the video. One thing that is kind of annoying is that I actually can't really get many friend points, because I'm only allowed to use the Bandai friend captain, which is basically just a mirror of what captain I have. I'm not allowed to use any other friend captains. So when you do that, you don't get any friend points for clearing a quest. which does stop us from doing more of these pulls. So currently all these points I'm just getting from clearing missions, but once I get those done, it's going to be much more of a pain. So we should enjoy getting all these free characters for now. You do get a few every day from the daily mission, but it's not a huge amount. But hopefully we can get actually some decent characters. So this is I'm actually starting to see a lot more dupes now, of course, because I have gotten quite a few unique characters from this pool. But not quite as unique as that Jumbe. Hopefully I can actually get the Wapple that I was talking about in the last video. I did actually pull a Wapple, but it was the story mode one. It evolves into like the thin Wapple. Actually, I've never seen that character before ever. But I'm really hoping to see that some of these story mode characters actually have good level limit breaks, because that has been a new mechanic in the game and it really helps all the characters. And most people don't know about these free-to-play characters who have these huge upgrades. Now this QB has been, or QB, Kudobi, was actually a good character back in the day. I remember using him on my strength team. I don't know, this guy's name's Chess. Yeah, I know, absolute fodder. And we actually cleared the premium Chopperman mission. This like screen that pops up when you clear it is so good. It looks amazing. It pops out very well. But let's do the last 15 pulls and then I can actually end off the video. I just wanted to do treasure map quickly before I left. But besides that, I think I've made enough progress on this account for one day. I'll come back if we see any decent pulls. We got a berry boosting captain. So I did talk about this Nami in the last video. She is our other option. She was the least favorable one to get. I'm still probably going to farm Jean Argo or get him when I actually go to Dressrosa. But for now, she is a berry boosting captain. Very helpful for my account. And this marker is pretty good, but I can actually farm him from the character recruitment quests. I'm not too worried about that. That's still a good pull though. And I think every single character in this multi has been like new. So that's pretty cool. This beige is a 4+ character. So this is actually one of the more interesting pulls, or the more like you're supposed to pull this character. He's a very solid unit. Or so I think. So I don't actually know what he does in 4+ form. He is a color affinity booster. And his captain seems actually pretty solid for shooter units. Interesting. I don't know how to get his skulls, but we will see. Hopefully he has a level limit break. If he's a 4+ unit, he should have one. And we have Miss Doublefinger with her Dex attack boost. I remember using this character on 5-star story mode Zoro teams. Let's do the final 5 pulls. If I can get Jean Argo or Wapple, I'll be very, very happy. But for now, as long as we got Nami, I am perfectly content. Does anyone remember back in the day in Story Mode Island, there was actually missions that you could complete for each island, and there were some very weird missions, like you had to recruit this Yosuku and I think also Johnny, but it was so difficult to get the copies. But I think they eventually just removed those missions because they were too ridiculous and they didn't even give much of a reward. Either way, they were very cool, but I don't know why they removed them. It was kind of just interesting to try and actually get these very irrelevant but kind of cool characters. I think that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Treasure map. Once again, I'm a bit sad I couldn't get the Grantosaurus ship. I'm still happy that we did get to the Grand Line League. I think we just barely made it in the top 50% where we can actually promote or have the choice to promote. There we are, 46%. It just goes to show how dead the treasure map is right now. I mean, just getting to 10 million points in New World gave me such a good rank. Not a lot of people are playing the game nowadays. It's a bit sad to see, but either way, it does help us as a new player to get to the New World League as fast as possible. This is our gem count. We're doing pretty solid. Hopefully we can be at 1,000 gems before New Year's. We'll see how that goes. There's going to be a lot of events coming now. There is going to be the cotton candy event with the Wapple, since it is around about Christmas time. I don't know if my account will be able to complete that. Either way, hoping to get the Master Chopperman missions done before the next episode, so we can actually get to a bit of a stronger captain multiplier. Next episode, we will tackle the Grantosaurus island. I did also didn't mention this, but I did do the tutorial for Pirate Rumble. So I did get a few Pirate Rumble tickets from that and unlocked the Gather Island. So awesome stuff. I think for now we actually have every single game mode unlocked. The final one was Grand Voyage for Pirate level 170. Currently I'm at a 172. So overall looking pretty good. Our stamina bar is also a lot higher than it was before. I think last video was around about 40 stamina, now it's 105. So looking good on this account. And I didn't mention this, but I'm very happy about it. Every single day you get one free mod on a ship. That's 10 million berries and 50 cola. I did my free mod on the host ship and I got the first mod unlocked, the double pirate XP earned. So I'm very happy about that. Unfortunately, I already cleared all the pirate XP quests, so a bit too late, but it's still very welcome. It means I don't have to worry about berries as much as I did before. That's gonna be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. I'll try to get some more story mode as well as get the Grand Tesoro test quest ready, and we might actually do a zombie team for that. Who knows? But I'll see you guys in the next one. It might be tomorrow or the day after. I'll see how it goes. But until then, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. I'm out.